What a time to be an indoor golfer. I'm talking about the recent popularity of golf simulators. And if you're watching this video, chances are that you've been on a sim. You're thinking about purchasing a golf simulator. And in this video, I want to teach you how to practice on a golf simulator. So download the free simulator training guide below, and I'm going to go over the 5 essential tasks you need next time you practice on a golf sim. So the first thing you want to do before you start hitting golf balls on the simulator is to have a proper warm-up. You want to get your body ready to hit some golf balls. So what you could do is take 2 clubs. I've taken my pitching wedge and my 9-iron. And I would start by taking both clubs in one hand and just making a few arm circles where you're going back on the right side, you're going forward. Because you have 2 clubs in your hands, it adds some weight and it really helps during the warm-up process. So I would do some of these on each side. I would do some stretches where you take the clubs and you put them behind your shoulders and just kind of do a few rotations back and forth. You could stagger your feet while you do this. And then you could take both clubs, put them in your hands, and make 5 to 10 practice swings. Again, just to warm up and get the body moving, okay? Once you've done that, I'd recommend grabbing a pitching wedge. We're going to start with a very simple 15-ball warm-up. For this 15-ball warm-up, I want you to grab your pitching wedge and a piece of impact tape. Go ahead and place the impact tape on the club, and it's going to give us clues with where we're hitting it on the face. The other thing I want you to do is grab 2 alignment sticks. Take 1 alignment stick and place it on the ground parallel to your target. When you hit golf balls, we're going to make sure that our feet, our legs, our shoulders are all parallel to our target so we have good alignment. Then I want you to take that stick, that second stick, put it on the ground, and we're going to hit balls right in front of it. And then we could easily look down and make sure that the ball is in the middle of our stance here. We're going to do 5 golf shots, taking the handle of the club and going from pocket high to pocket high. So these are less than a full swing. We're starting off the day with these small pitches here with the pitching wedge. I think the first few shots of the day should be less than full speed, less than full length. So again, we're just doing small little swings to get the day started, okay? Once you've done a couple of these hip high to hip high, making clean contact, I then want us to change the length of the golf swing. So instead of swinging towards the hip, we're gonna bring the handle back and we're gonna get it closer to chest high. So we're going from a little half swing to more of a 3/4 swing. Again, you're going to do 5 of these. These should fly. They should fly a little bit farther. I think too many players start off the day taking longer clubs and going at 100%. It starts to build tension into their body. Once you've done 5 of the 3/4 length swings, then you could start to move your way up to more of that 100% swing where you're going full distance. So get your body ready to hit some golf balls by starting slow and small and then working your way big to fast. Let's go to the next step. Step number 2, I want you to learn the true distance that you hit your golf clubs. What you could do on most simulators, you could label the club that you're hitting. So right now I'm hitting a 9-iron, and we're going to be able to look and see how far I truly carry this club in the air. So I want you to hit until you get 3 solid golf shots. That represents, what that club is able to do. So I'm going to hit 2 more. If you have an outlier where you had poor contact, you hit the ground, you topped it, you could delete that shot from the data so you could get a good average of your solid ones. The other great thing when you're doing this and you're learning your distances and you're seeing how far it carries, you could also get some club data. I know if you come to my Chicago Golf, we use the Foresight GC Quad. You could put these stickers on here, and it'll also give us clues with how your golf club is moving. All right, so we could start to see swing path. Are we swinging towards the target? Are we coming from the inside, over the top? You can start to see your club face. Is your club straight, left, or right? You don't have to change any of this when you're learning your distances, but it's good after you've done this task to reflect and be like, hey, why am I slicing the ball? Why is it going left? But step 2, learn your carry distances with each golf club. Task number 3, I want you to work on your proximities. I want you to start off with 3 basic distances. We're gonna go 50, 100, and 150 yards. Once you're good at those 3 distances, then we could go in 25-yard intervals, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. Once you're there, then you could even go in 10-yard intervals. So I'm gonna just do the 3 basic ones here first. So I've set the flag up there. It's 50 yards away. And then pretty soon, you're gonna have a strategy for these different distances, okay? That was a pretty good one right there. That one, I hit, it'll give me the distance here in a second. That one I hit to 2 feet, okay? Now, when we go to 100 yards, I'm gonna switch clubs. And because I've played these games before, I kind of automatically know which club to use, how much of a swing to use. So now I'm going to 100 yards here. I think good goals initially are to get it within 10% of the total distance. So if 100 yards away, I want to see if I could get within 10 yards or 30 feet. So that last one was 16 feet right there. That one would count. But I want you to do about 5 to 10 balls from each distance. And then I'm going to go right here to 150. So it's one thing to learn how far you hit your clubs, and then it's another thing to learn, how to hit specific yardages. Okay, let's do one more here. So from 150, I'm trying to get within 15 yards, 45 feet. Okay. And some tips if you're in between distances. So let's say 150 yards, you might be between an 8-iron and a 7-iron. Some options for you. You could take the longer club, the 7-iron, and you could grip down on the club just a ½ inch. That makes the club shorter, it won't go as far. Other options for you, you could take the longer club and you could abbreviate the swing. So instead of going all the way back, you're only going what feels like 3/4 to you. Instead of following all the way through, you're following a little bit shorter. That'll take distance off. Your last option is actually to kind of slow down the swing. But pretty soon you'll have a strategy from these different distances. Get those 50-yard intervals first, then go to 25 yards and 10 yards. Step number 4, I want you to work on your driving accuracy. So you could do this on the range. I pulled up a golf hole, and I want you to use 3 different clubs off the tee. I want you to use a long iron or a hybrid. I'm going to use the hybrid here first. Then I want you to try a fairway wood, like a 5 or a 3 wood, and then finally driver. I'd recommend doing 5 golf balls with each club, and you can see which one performs the best. What you're looking here, the metric that you're looking for here, you want to see how many yards off line, how many yards off the center line. I think if you're keeping it within 25 to 30 yards, you're not going to lose many golf balls. So that first one, it bled a little bit right on me. That one was 19 yards offline, so it's still in play. Then work your way up to a fairway metal. So here I'll pull a 3 wood. The purpose of using these 3 different clubs, pretty soon you'll see what your dispersion is with your shots. And if you have a tight hole, you might take a shorter club. You might find that you hit your 3 wood really well, and that could be a good option for you off the tee. So here's one with the 3 wood. That one felt pretty solid right there. And then we'll see how many yards offline. 13 yards. That was a pretty good shot. Finally, we could take the big stick and we want to see what our patterns are off the tee. I think what you'll find when you do these tasks, you'll start to see a pattern to your shots. Some players have a little bit of a fade. It might be wise for them to aim left if their ball's going slightly to the right, and vice versa. All right, so let's try one here with the drive. So definitely look how many yards you're hitting it offline. Obviously, you're going to be looking at your total distance as well. But to score well, you have to be able to just get the ball in play off the tee. It doesn't matter what club it is. Just give yourself a chance. And then you have to be good with your scoring clubs, our last step, where you're good inside of 150 yards. Step number 5, I want you to post a score. It's okay if it's 9 holes or 18 holes, but I want to have you start to get into the rhythm of playing golf. So we're leaving technique behind and working on our swing, and we're going through the process of hitting golf shots. So whenever we play golf, we pick a target, we kind of plan. So we have a par 4 here. I'm gonna aim it up the middle of the fairway. I also want you to go through your routine when you're playing, even though you're indoors. Walk into every shot. Personally, I like to put a little rhythm in my body. I aim the club, get balance with my feet, and then I send it there. Also, when you're playing golf, this is where you really start to get random yardages. You can see whether it's uphill or downhill. Here I have 113 yards downhill, playing 110. And then this is the best kind of practice right before going out to a golf course. So learn your distances, work on your proximities, hit your tee shots, and then practice going through the routine you're going to use on the golf course. When you do this, try to take no mulligans. Try to see what you would truly score. If you hit a bad one, learn how to deal with that bad shot and just refocus and take it one shot at a time. And if you do these tasks, you're starting to have a plan when you're on a simulator. Rather than just going and hitting balls, go through these steps and it's going to help you with your golf game. Here's a bonus simulator task. What I want you to do is create on-course scenarios. What you could do is bring up a golf course and then drop the ball in different scenarios. Here in this case, I have some trees in front of me. So I have to make a ball, start off to the right, and then curve around the trees. This helps us get creative, so you're not just setting up square and hitting the same shot. You're gonna have to learn how to shape some golf shots. So create a scenario where there's trouble and you need to curve it from right to left. You could do the opposite. You could do behind the trees here, and then now you have to, curve the ball around from left to right. You could practice some punch shots under the trees, and then this is where we start to get creative. I would also do some short game scenarios where you could drop yourself maybe in a greenside bunker where you don't have a lot of green to work with, and you can learn how to hit shots that are short and soft. And then this stuff becomes fun. You start to get creative. So I think some of the mistakes that people make when using a simulator, they'll just take one golf club and they'll hang out on the range, swing at 100% over and over again. They're not hitting the distances. They don't ever play the game, and when they do play, they're not going through their pre-shot routine. So follow these steps. It'll help you be creative. You'll learn your distances. You'll learn how far you hit your clubs. You'll have a strategy off the tee. You'll have a good pre-shot routine when you're out there on the golf course. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, please reach out, and I'd be happy to help you with your golf game.